Chapter 17. Adelmo's mind is racing, trying to wait for the plane to settle at its cruising speed. He scanned the plane to see if there was anything he could use once the chaos began. He thought to himself, this airplane has nothing on it that will allow me to be able to defend myself from this sort of thing. How am I going to protect these people when the time comes? He is getting agitated. The flight attendants start going down the plane with their food racks. What would you like to drink? We have apple juice, orange juice, water, and a can of soda. Each person had their own preference for what to drink. Some wanted water, others wanted juice and soda. Later on, they came back down with another rack. We have a variety of sandwiches and bags of chips. As they handed out the food, the day gradually drifted into night. Adelmo grabbed his bag, shuffling through it. He had hoped he had something in there that could help him through this. He ran across something really stiff. He looked at it with a strange look on his face, feeling confused. He thought to himself, I don't remember packing this, and why didn't they see it through the security gates? It is a samurai sword known as the wolf blade, encased in a box of some sort. He started to get excited that he actually had something that should be able to help him through this flight, just in case it gets out of hand. Adelmo pulled it out and slipped it to his side. He tried to keep it out of sight of anyone seeing it. When, suddenly, he heard a woman scream from the back of the plane. Adelmo's heart began racing and realized that it was time. Meanwhile, Lana was at home thinking about how Adelmo was doing on his flight. Suddenly a feeling came over her about Adelmo. She knew something was wrong. She could feel him, his heart beating fast. She was scared for him. Adelmo jumped out of his seat and looked down at the plane. He saw men and women transforming into werewolves, right before their very eyes. Nothing anyone could do. They began feasting on the people next to them. Adelmo shouted, "Hey, look at me," thinking to himself, wow, am I really doing this? I must be crazy. They all had a look of anger. They knew who he was. Their attention all focused on him. Their instinct was to get rid of the last of the chosen ones. One of the werewolves crouched down, getting ready to pounce. Adelmo pulled out the sword, and suddenly it lunged toward him. He dodged out of the way and swung the sword in one swift slice at the neck, severing it from the body. The head dropped to the floor. The body followed after, transforming back into a human. One of the vampires put his hand on Adelmo's shoulder and asked him to move. Adelmo felt confused. The vampire shouted with an alpha male tone, "Stop. This isn't what we are all here for. We will have our day, but we are all going to the same place for the same reasons. Fight your urges and your rage. We must work together for what is to come." Everyone cowers and separates into different parts of the plane. Adelmo said thanks to the vampire. "I didn't do it for you, I did it for our kind. We need all we can get before this corruption attacks the earth." Do you know when this is all going to take place? There is no specific place. It corrupts the land in a really large area. It can be as small as a town to as large as a full country. So you had better be careful. Adelmo's eyes widened, thinking to himself, how am I going to protect these people? This might be all of Germany, not just a town. Adelmo asks, when is this all going to happen? This is going to happen anywhere from some time tomorrow to the next day. We have no way of knowing the exact time, but know the general time. Thanks for this information. I wasn't sure when this was all going down, but I figure it is going to happen soon. My grandfather is over there now. Finally, Adelmo started feeling relaxed. The plane started calming down from all the excitement. He continued to keep getting information, but he started getting exhausted. Right before passing out, mumbles one last time, "Thank you again." Then suddenly he fell asleep. The vampire snickered, thinking, these mere humans are so weak. They can't even stay awake. Meanwhile, Lana's feeling she had knowing something was wrong subsided and knew he was okay. She went into the bathroom, took a shower, and got ready for bed. She crawled into bed and snuggled up with the covers draped over her. She thought about Adelmo. I wonder what that was all about, but at least I know he is okay now. Lana drifts into a deep sleep at the same time as Adelmo drifts into a deep sleep, dreaming the same dream as every other night. Suddenly, the house was ransacked by what they saw as zombies. They were coming through every doorway. They were surrounded. Lana was panicking. Adelmo is worried about Lana. He would do anything to protect her with his life. There was something that caught his eye hanging from the wall. It was a sword, having a familiar glow to it. He rushed to it, snatching it from the wall, pulling it from its sleeve, exposing the blade. He grabbed Lana, getting her to get behind him. They began coming at them. Lana ducked, covering her head, while Adelmo started slicing up these things as they came close enough to hit. The bodies started dropping like flies to the floor. Suddenly, the room was empty. Everything seemed to have vanished. They were confused about what had just happened. Suddenly, they woke up panting and sweating, trying to catch their breath while they were in a confused state about what that was about.